What's good, Snicker Freaks? It's the kid, Ted the Money Mogul, and I'm back at y'all again for another Transformation Tuesday. Last week I did the custom, so we're gonna keep it rolling on the custom train. I'm gonna do a custom on these Vans here, and we're gonna do a Bape custom. So let's just get right into the video.
I used to put on my mask to eat, I used to go robbing creep. Shit, now I robbing jeans and I got the finer things. Smoking the finest weed, I'm living my wildest dreams. I got this with my niggas, ain't no iron team. I used to put on my mask to eat, I used to go robbing creep. Shit, now I robbing jeans and I got the finer things. Smoking the finest weed and living my wildest dreams. I got this with my niggas, ain't no iron team. I'm taking a trip down memory lane, I hit a lick on the middle man.
So we're just gonna dive straight into the custom. I don't need to do a cleaning on these because they are brand new. Alright, so after we got our shoe trees entered into the shoe, I'm gonna use Angela's vinyl tape to go ahead and tape off these parts right here. It's a super flexible tape, so it's easy to just bend and flex around, especially when working with a kind of solid surface like this. Alright, so there's no prep work that needs to be done when you're painting canvas shoes. You just tape up the areas that you need to be taped up, make sure the shoes are clean, make sure you have your too soft because it is a soft material, and make sure you have your duller to dull out the shininess of the paint, and you're good to go as far as what colors you want to use. I'm just going to go ahead and use a paintbrush for the whole video. No need to break out the airbrush. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the shark teeth. Here I'm going to lay down a nice light gray color. I like to use primers for anything I do just because it makes color pop. So I'm going to go ahead and use a primer for that. And to make my primer, I'm going to start off with the color light gray. I'm just going to add some more white to it so it's light. And then, of course, our duller and our too soft and our heat gun. So, start mixing. Alright, so we got our primer coat laid down on here. As you can see, this is a nice deep gray. I know some people are thinking like, man, that's way too dark. How is that white gonna show up on top of there? Trust me, we're gonna put a middle coat in between here. And for my middle coat, I'm just gonna use the same thing, but except in light gray, I'm gonna use mist and white, duller, and too soft. And about 2 coats of that middle coat, and then we'll be ready to lay on the last 3 coats of our white. So the more I put the white on there, the more I realize that I'm really digging this super light gray. So I'm gonna keep this. Well, it's almost white basically. If I would have did like 1 more coat of the white, it would have popped up perfectly fine. But I'm really digging this light gray. So I'm gonna keep it like this, and I'm gonna allow this some real dry time. So I'm just gonna move on to a different panel of the shoe before I start on the shark teeth. So I have decided that I am going to paint the toe and the heel a dark blue color, Angela's dark blue, and then I'm going to do over top of the legendary Van stripe a pale blue, and then we'll move into the Bape customs, and then lastly I'll probably finish up with the shark teeth depending on what am I letting dry and what am I just keeping going. So let's just go ahead and move on and start laying down our dark blue on our toe and our back panel.
Me right, your dark hair with those eyes so bright. They look into my soul and it sparks my life. Can I take you there? Like it was the first time, do you remember? Can I take you there? Back to when we felt like this was forever. Can I take you?
Now we're gonna go ahead and start prepping to do our pale blue mix. So we're gonna use pale blue, Too Soft, and duller, and that's what we're gonna use to do our panel over top of our legendary band stripe.
Can I take you there?
So after you got your pale blue nice and solid, that takes about 3 coats, I would say go ahead and move on to your next panel. Ours is going to be the shoelace holders, and my choice of color is going to be lilac. So we're just going to use the Too Soft, the duller, and the lilac to go ahead and start laying that down on the shoe holder panels.
Eyes so bright, they look into my soul and it sparks my life. Can I take you there? Like it was the first time, do you remember? Can I take you there? Back to when we felt like this was forever.
Alright, so now we got all our colors laid down. This gray this white that we thought was going to turn out gray actually turned out pretty freaking white. So that's cool. We got all our colors laid down, so now we just want to go ahead and start laying down our Bape stencil. After you get your shark teeth laid down, you want to take like a light number 2 mechanical pencil or just a regular pencil and trace over the lines before you remove the stencil. So after we got our shark teeth laid down, let's just remember that this is a base. So of course, when we take our toothpick or our detail brush, whichever one you're using, you want to go through and kind of straighten up the lines, kind of give it that nice space like this here. So you can go ahead and make a separate line in between. But you do want to go ahead and use the stencil just so you have like a nice little base coverage, so you kind of know where everything is going. And you just go ahead and trace it out, add your colors and everything else, and keep it pushing to the next step. So after we got our teeth laid down, everything on the shoe perfectly fine, it's dry, we're gonna go ahead and move on to laying down our Bape signs and our camo. So my plan is to put it on the toe box, the back, the heel tab here, and maybe around over top here. But again, I'm just going with the flow. We'll see however I like it. But we're gonna go ahead and take our same pencil and trace these and paint it white. So after we pull it up, we're gonna go ahead and paint them white, so that way when we put those bright colors on this dark surface, it pops. So start doing that. So we finally got all our Bape laid down here on the front, on the back, on the top. So now it's just time to lay down our color wave. So for this, I am going to be using some yellow, a nice little blue that I made, that lavender color that we already have on the shoe, maybe some pale blue depending on what areas we're in, and of course the navy blue that I can't seem to find right now, but that too. So Alright, so basically we went around the whole shoe at this point. We've put all the tape on there, all the camel designs, all the Bape faces that we want on. So now it's time to remove the tape. As you can see, I removed the tape on this shoe. Of course, there's going to be some sticky residue from the tape, but that's okay. You can just like take your Rejuvenator sneaker solution and rub it across and it should come straight off, or you could take some acetone or Angelus Depare and deglaze it. But next we're going to do is remove the tape, go over any details, anything we might have missed, do any touch-ups that need to be done before we put our spray Krylon matte finish on and lace them up. Alright y'all, so thank y'all for staying tuned in with us on this Wednesday here. Please check our Instagram and our Facebook page a little bit later for What's Up Wednesday. We'd love to hear from you guys. Drop some things down in the comments, some pictures, all that stuff. Our social medias will be in the description down below. So let's just go over what we did for these Vans and these Bape customs here. All the products we used to complete the painting are going to be on angelusdirect.com. Just to give you guys those, the name of those colors. We used pale blue, I made a blue, and yellow, and lilac. So those are the 4 colors we used to complete this here. If you guys like what we did in this video, even if you didn't like what we did in the video, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when we drop a banger to the channel. And I'll tune in with y'all again next week. Peace.